It started with a bottle of orange juice and a swollen ankle. Tasha had just come back from her OB appointment, 28 weeks along and glowing despite the August heat baking the pavement. Her husband, Jordan, was working late at the fire station, and her usual Uber driver was stuck in traffic. So she took a slow walk home, breathing carefully, one hand on her belly, one gripping the cool plastic of a small grocery bag with her prenatal snacks. And that's when she sat down. Right there on the stone bench under the jacaranda tree in front of Willowgate's community fountain. A shady spot. Public space. Technically HOA managed, but open to all residents. She lived just 3 houses down. And yet, within minutes she heard it. The unmistakable sound of clunky sandals scraping across tile, followed by that artificially sweet tone that only ever meant trouble. Well, well, came the voice dripping condescension. This isn't a bus stop, you know. Tasha looked up, already bracing herself. Karen. Full name. Brenda Karen Wilmington, president of the Willowgate Homeowners Association, lover of laminated rulebooks and laminated facial expressions. She wasn't just walking toward Tasha. She was storming, clipboard in hand, lips pursed like she just tasted sour milk. I'm sorry, Tasha asked. You can't loiter here, Karen sniffed, glancing dramatically at her wristwatch as if she were the Queen of England inspecting a tardy maid. It's against HOA code. This is not a hangout zone for idle persons. Tasha blinked. I live here. On Azalea Drive. Karen cocked her head. Sure you do. And I'm the mayor. Tasha gestured to her belly. I'm pregnant. I just needed a break. You want to see my mail key? I want to see you off the bench, Karen barked. And I'm filing a trespass notice. You don't belong here. Tasha's eyes stung not from shame but from exhaustion. The baby kicked almost in protest like it could sense the stress. She stood slowly, struggling, and Karen took a step forward, snapping a photo with her phone. You'll be hearing from us, Karen smirked. That bench cost HOA money, and we don't tolerate squatters. But what Karen didn't know, what she had failed to check in her all-knowing clipboard, was that Tasha wasn't just a resident. She was the daughter-in-law of the HOA treasurer. And her husband? The one working late at the fire station? He built that bench 3 summers ago with reclaimed wood and volunteer labor. There was a plaque beneath the seat that read, in honor of peaceful moments donated by Station 44. Karen had walked right past it. Tasha didn't cry. Not then. She went home, placed her swollen feet on a pillow, and typed everything out, every word Karen had said, every accusation, every bystander's silence. Then she sent it. Not to the HOA complaint inbox. She sent it directly to the entire board, and her father-in-law, local reporter Cynthia Tran from the community column, and the Willowgate Facebook group. She didn't expect it to blow up. But it did. The next morning, the neighborhood group chat exploded with screenshots. Karen had posted the photo, the one of Tasha standing up, belly clearly visible, with the caption, unknown woman loitering near fountain. Please be vigilant. Criminal activity rising. The words unknown woman sent everyone reeling. Because they knew Tasha. She volunteered at the garden club. She baked cookies for the street cleanup crew. She helped organize the Lunar New Year potluck. And now she was being branded a threat? The post was flagged and removed in under 2 hours. But the damage had been done. Neighbors printed the fountain plaque on flyers with big red arrows pointing to the bench's origins. One man printed shirts that said, "Loiter like Tasha." The garden club updated their Facebook cover photo to a giant belly bump with the words "criminal in training." But the showdown hadn't even started. Karen doubled down. She scheduled an emergency HOA meeting that Friday night, claimed security threats were infiltrating the community, and insisted on adding a motion to install surveillance cameras around the fountain. Tasha showed up. So did Jordan in uniform. So did his father, David, who had been treasurer for 12 years and had had enough. Would you like me to continue with the dramatic HOA meeting, the boardroom takedown, and the twist ending that left Karen utterly speechless? David Wilmington stood up before Karen could even finish her sanctimonious opening speech. His usual calm demeanor had vanished. In its place was something harder, sharper, like the edge of a well-used chisel. As treasurer of this board, I'm invoking Section 4.3 of the bylaws, he announced, voice echoing through the community room. I'm calling for an emergency audit of the president's communications, including social media conduct and defamatory materials sent using HOA resources. Karen blinked. Excuse me. No, David said, stepping forward. Excuse you. You publicly defamed a pregnant resident. You posted her photo without consent. You implied criminality when what she was doing was sitting in a bench her husband built. Karen turned pale. Tu didn't know she was related to you. That's the problem, David replied. You don't know the people you claim to represent. You don't ask. You just accuse. Jordan crossed his arms beside his wife, his station badge glinting under the fluorescent lights. That bench was part of a firehouse initiative for heatstroke prevention. It's meant for people to sit when they're overheated, tired, or pregnant. We even logged it with the city as part of our community safety partnership. So technically, that bench is protected under municipal ordinance. You tried to remove a public health measure because your ego couldn't tolerate a woman catching her breath. A gasp rippled through the room. Karen floundered. I was thinking of the children. She could have been dangerous. She is carrying a child, Amira snapped from the third row. And the only danger here is you. That's when Cynthia Tran stood. The community reporter had been quiet all evening, but now she lifted her phone and calmly read from her notes. I have here word for word the caption Ms. Karen Wilmington posted. Unknown woman loitering near fountain. Please be vigilant. Criminal activity rising. She paused. You used inflammatory language to publicly shame a resident whose only crime was being exhausted. Then you called a meeting and tried to push for surveillance infrastructure under the guise of safety. Karen stammered. It was a misunderstanding. Tasha spoke up for the first time. Her voice was low but strong. You didn't just misunderstand me. You dehumanized me. You looked at a pregnant woman sweaty, sore, and alone and assumed I didn't belong. I don't know what kind of trauma makes someone behave like that, but if I wasn't the daughter-in-law of a board member, would you have apologized at all? Karen's mouth opened and shut like a beached fish. Her usual faux sweet composure was crumbling. Then a boy in the back, maybe 9 or 10, raised his hand. Are you gonna get fired, lady? Laughter broke out, muffled but electric. And Karen? She snapped. This is harassment. This is a witch hunt. You're just upset that I enforce the rules. No, David said, setting down his papers. We're upset you invented them. Then came the vote. The motion to suspend Karen from her role as HOA president passed unanimously. Even her usual allies had gone silent. With cameras on, neighbors watching, and a hallway full of residents holding signs that read benches not bias, Karen was officially stripped of her position and asked to leave the room. She refused at first. Until the baby kicked again. Loud and proud, like it was putting a period on the sentence. Tasha rubbed her belly and smiled faintly. Don't worry, little one. The world just got a little safer. After Karen left, the room felt lighter. A neighbor brought over water. Another offered to walk Tasha home. David stayed behind to close the books and remove Karen's access from the board's communication app. That night, Tasha slept better than she had in weeks. The bench? It's still there. But now there's a new plaque, smaller, hand-carved beneath the old one. It reads, benches don't judge. People do. Sometimes justice doesn't come from courtrooms or loud protests. Sometimes it comes from a fetus kicking at the perfect time. From a neighbor choosing to stand instead of look away. From a husband who built something that outlasts ignorance. What would you have done? Should Karen have faced more than suspension? Was this justicer just the beginning of real change? Let us know what you think.